Hey everyone! Welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast. I am your host with the most, Nathaniel Rufflejans. Episode 116, by the way. Sorry there's been like these big gaps between episodes. Like we seem to be getting like one out a month.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
I feel like we're way back at the beginning.
Yeah, but we are going to be doing the podcast now every single week. The goal is to do Thursdays at 9. Backup days are always Friday at 9, but I don't really want to keep using the backup days, but my life gets kind of hectic. Welcome to life with 3 kids. That's just how it goes. Obviously, I'm joined to my left and your right by Mr. Eric Moore.
Hello.
And we have a special guest on this week, a fellow YouTuber, small YouTuber, but a YouTuber that you guys should go check out. I've seen a couple videos anyways, especially some streams. Mr. Sonic Man the Best is here.
What's up? Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, Corey,
For getting me on the show.
who popped in the show. He's been begging me to put Sonic Man on for like 3 weeks. Little did he know we weren't having a podcast, so that, I don't know. But Corey's actually one of our $20 backers on Patreon at patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. You can go back this podcast. I used to be able to get the podcast early, but now it's live podcast, so you don't. But you can still like join the $20 tier and be on an episode of the podcast. And Corey's like, you know what? I'm a $20 backer. I can't be on. Put Sonic Man on. And I said, all right, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. So let's just get right into the topics this week. We have some crazy good topics, I think. But let's start with the one that we always start with for now and forever. What have we been playing this week? Because this is kind of our are you a gamer check? That's what this is. It's like the nut cup check in football.
Yeah.
Except this is are you actually a gamer? So what have you been playing lately? Let's start with our guest, Sonic Man. What do you got? What have you been playing lately?
Well, I recently, it was last week, I finished the Assassin's Creed Rogue Collection. Not Rogue Collection. Rebel Collection. So I started, I'm actually behind, but I started playing the Starlight Battle for Atlas game, and I'm enjoying that.
Yes.
More than I thought. And I'm switching back and forth to the Mega Man Collection, the first Mega Man game.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
And then I've been playing some Animal Crossing on my phone and the Wii.
Nice.
Okay. You played City Folk, right? That was the Wii one?
Yeah, I've been live streaming on Twitch.
Let me guess. Preparing for New Horizons coming up. Yeah, of course. I guess. Well, this should be short and sweet. Eric, what have you been playing lately?
You have my Switch. So
well, I don't have.
Absolutely.
You have it back now as of just now.
Yeah, right. So in the whole 5-10 minutes that I've had it, still nothing.
Still nothing.
Still nothing.
Yep. So basically, no update since the last podcast.
No, because you've had it since the last podcast.
Any other game on your phone, maybe?
I
mean, it is
South Park Phone Destroyer.
Oh, you play that game all the time.
I do. It's actually a decent game.
Until you get frustrated.
Yeah, there's that. It does. It does seem to like there's days where it seems like you win everything, and then there's days where it seems like you can't even catch a break.
Yeah, I'm sure you could pay to win.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
They want to make you
But
feel
I'm
like
not.
the game is fun, and then remind you that we'd want your money.
Yeah.
That's phone games in a nutshell, to be honest.
Yeah.
So for me, as the public might know, because I had a stream about it, playing Luigi's Mansion 3 for the first time since E3 of last year. I gotta say, so far, it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
I said last year that it potentially would be my game of the year. I can't declare a game of the year because I'm literally now going back through and playing the 2019 games. But Luigi's Mansion 3, it's really, really fun. Now, there is one weird thing because I haven't played it since the stream, and I got to Egad's room, and I couldn't get out of the room. It did the cutscene. The ghost went through the wall and everything with the whatever briefcase you were supposed to get, and you're supposed to chase her. And I've done everything in the room. I can't get out. I got back to the room again. I still can't get out. It won't let me interact with any of the doors. Like the doors lock, and then there's 3 ghosts. Mm-hmm. I took out the 3 ghosts, so the door should unlock. But I can't go through the back door. I can't go through the one door. I can't go through like some secret passage on a wall. There's no secret passage with the dark light. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I bugged the game out and I'm just gonna have to restart Luigi's Mansion all over again. Thankfully, I'm not that far in.
You go back a save.
I know, I did, and it did the same thing to me.
Oh.
So I don't know what's happening.
Huh.
So right now I'm either at a point where I might have to look up a walkthrough to see how stupid I am.
Otherwise, show me where you're at, and I'm probably past
I'm sure you're past it. It's pretty early in the game.
Yeah.
Like literally I'm on floor 5
Ow.
because that's where he told me to go to his room to get his briefcase for some reason.
Yeah, there's some goofy things to do with that floor.
Well, yeah, but I'm just doing the very first thing you're supposed to do, and I'm stuck. So, again, I don't know. I could be an idiot. One thing I did want to note, though, Gooigi, even, like, there's nothing. I can't do anything. Mm-hmm. So, here's my thing. Setting that aside, because I'm probably just an idiot, or I did legitimately find a bug, and I should probably go report it. When the hell did they add an aiming reticule to the plunger? Obviously, it's there, but I don't remember it being there in the demo. And I went through the demo footage. Yeah. It wasn't there.
Oh. Maybe that was some of the feedback that they got from E3.
From E3, because, like, it was... see, I laughed watching you play the second time, because when you got to the boss, you could not hit him with the damn plunger. It was hilarious. I'm like, how? Is this in that? How? Like, I sit there and I'm like, got him every time. One, suck him up. One, suck him up. Like... how are you struggling so much aiming this thing? And it was here's the thing. I kind of preferred it without the reticule, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because now that I have it, it feels like it took all the skill out of trying to shoot the thing away. Because now it's just point and shoot.
Yeah.
But whatever. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the plunger anyways. It's a neat thing for when you need it, but it also kind of just feels cheap. Because now I can just basically suck up anything and chuck it at things. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, whew. I got a little drink of the aqua over here. I guess that's all I really got to say about it for now. I gotta play some more. I do want to beat it, and then you can have your copy back, or you can just take it because it's yours. I never even asked. So
yeah, it happens.
It happens. It doesn't matter. You still have a new Breath of the Wild. Let's just go back and finish that quick.
There is,
and then come back and finish the Luigi's Mansion. Come on now. I mean, I'm already getting ready to start my run of Pokemon that I promised these people I'd do 3 years ago. Yeah. So,
oh god,
yeah, the journey you're supposed to go on with me, and yet we didn't even get you past the first game you ever bought for this.
Yeah, there's that.
All right. So let's just get into the next actual topic. There's been quite a bit of controversy going on with Animal Crossing New Horizons on Switch now. To be fair, there's like no controversy with the game itself. Everyone seems to be pretty excited. People want to see more. Some people think we already know enough because it just feels like it's more Animal Crossing, but then here's a bunch of stuff we've never been able to do in it before. You can now do it in this game. Cool. But there's been kind of some pushback in how Nintendo's handled some of the peripheral things around the game. In particular, the most controversial thing has been how it handles backing up the game or the lack of backing up the game. So news came out that according to the back of the box art, but now it's not even according to the back of the box art, it's actually listed on like the Nintendo UK website, you cannot transfer saves from one Switch to another. So if you want to take your save, like this is locally, you want to take your save off of your OG Switch and put it on a Switch Lite, you cannot do it. They did not say you can't do it with the system transfer. They just said you can't do it at all. And I think I know why. Because there isn't save data for it locally on your Switch. It's on their server. Because they told us that while there's no cloud backup saves for it either, they are working on something in the future where you can somehow pull the data off the server if you lose your Switch, you break your Switch, or your Switch is stolen. But not if you upgrade. So if you get a Switch Pro, or if you downgrade for a Switch, actually upgrade from a Switch Lite to an OG Switch, can't get the data. So it's not actually cloud backups they're using. It's some different system, and it's because all of the data is stored on a server. So your save file is basically on a server, which to me should make playing across multiple Switches with the same account easier.
Yeah.
But then they have this weird thing. It's not really weird because Animal Crossing's done this before, but I was hoping they wouldn't make it this way where you can only have one island per Switch. So you can have your max 8 accounts or whatever, but everyone plays on the same map, basically. And that's cool and everything, like if you have a family thing going on or whatever, and you can invite people online to come join your island. Like that's cool. But like, what if I want my own island and I want my kids to have their own island? I don't want them on my island. I had to get them a whole new Switch.
Get off my lawn.
And buy them a whole new copy of the game, or I guess they could borrow the physical copy, and have their own island. And I don't like that concept, and I think that's also creating some of the hard thing to do with just play your island on another Switch. Well, no, because it's like locked to the system, so it's created all this issues with backing up the game and being able to save your data for the game and being able to recover your data. And now it's to a point where Nintendo is just not even going to give you your save file unless it's like the worst of the worst possible situation. So if you like, a lot of people I know is people that have a Switch Lite and an OG Switch, they leave the Switch in the dock, they take the Switch Lite on the go, they sync everything up through the cloud backups, and so they're playing the same game save files across systems. So they just take the Switch Lite with them and whatever. Those people can't do that with this game. They have to choose which one it's going to be on, and that's the one it's going to be on. And obviously, if you get rid of one of them, and that happens to be the one your Animal Crossing stuff is on, you can't just move it to another system. I mean, you guys.
Now, does that mean you have to be on Wi-Fi too?
That's the thing.
That's what
I'm wondering if the game requires an internet connection to even to use it.
Because I don't think they specifically said either way if it does or not.
No, but they said that all the save data is stored on a server.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which, by the way, is what Splatoon 2's save data should have been stored on, instead of locally. Different topic for a different day.
Should be like the mobile game, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Yeah, it's so. I'm conflicted, I suppose. I'm glad that there is some method in the worst possible situation to get the data back eventually. Although it does sound like you have to be a Nintendo Switch Online account owner. That they did say that. Which the thing that sucks about that is I think this makes it one of the few games that you have to pay to ever get the data back for anything, because while all other games, you could basically just do a system transfer to a new Switch and get in all your local data. You could transfer over. Well, there is no local data, so there's nothing to transfer. So you have to pay to literally access your own data, even though you don't have to pay the online service fee to actually play the game. So it's really funky, and then it's just kind of it's a nice reminder that Nintendo, when it comes to this online stuff, they're kind of just patchworking it together. I don't think they really fully know what they're doing. Like each individual team making a game, it's like there's no communication over how the general online infrastructure is supposed to work. We're just going to patch it to work with each game as we go. Because like this absolutely should have just been a cloud save thing. You should be able, run it on the server, but as soon as you shut your game off, backs up to the cloud save so you can just move it to a different system. But no. And I know they're worried with Animal Crossing. They keep saying the reason it's not cloud save is because people are going to manipulate the time and this and that. And here's my thing. This is not an online competitive game.
Yeah.
Who cares if they manipulate time? Yeah, I mean, dude, I was playing Animal Crossing back in the GameCube. I manipulated that clock like a mofo. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the fun of the game because, like, yes, it's like in real time, but sometimes I'm gone for the holidays. I can't do the holiday event, so I got to manipulate the clock to enjoy those events. And it's just I don't like that they're doing this. I think it just kind of ruins the spirit. Again, if this was an online competitive game, absolutely you got to stop manipulation. But who cares? Why does Nintendo care? Why do they care if I change the clock on my Switch and do something different with the time?
I don't know.
What if they had a way where it's like, okay, if you change the clock back, we're gonna punish you some way. I don't know if you played The Sims 2 on the DS, but you could like cheat by changing the clock so you didn't have to wait 8 hours for them to finish building a room in a hotel or casino, whatever it was. But if you went back, they would punish you and send aliens after you.
That is funny.
What if in Animal Crossing, not aliens, but they could do something similar to that?
I just don't know why they care.
Yeah.
See, and like The Sims, I understand because there's microtransactions and stuff.
Well, this was like the older Sims.
Yeah, but like, I guess are they gonna put microtransactions in this game? Have they confirmed there will not be microtransactions in this game? That's something I'm not sure of.
Theoretically, they could look at the time that your Switch is set to that's coming in for to try
server.
to access the data compared to the server. And if you're back, say, an hour and a half, guess what? You just lost your data from the last hour and a half. It sends you back to where you were.
Well, yeah, there's other ways they can handle it, but I don't know why they care.
Well, then daylight savings time would be an issue, even if it was only twice a year.
Yeah, well.
They just, who cares?
Yeah,
they can just run it on like a non-daylight saving times thing. Like, what is it, Mountain Time that doesn't do it?
No,
or
it's just
something?
Arizona.
Just Arizona. It's just Arizona.
No, it is literally just Arizona. And like,
I think where I live now, we're starting to do no daylight savings time. We'll change back, but then the fall.
Yeah, well, they could just set the server to be no daylight savings. Who gives a shit?
I don't know. Yeah,
who cares?
Again,
well, Nintendo clearly cares.
Who cares?
But whatever. I'm just really, I'm disappointed, but I'm not shocked. The game's still going to be great. I'm still going to pick it up. It's Animal Crossing. It's going to be fun. It's the first new Animal Crossing game in 8 years.
Honestly, though, it's I can kind of see the reason why it's because of the fact that they have all the players playing on the same island. You take and load your data up, and then somebody comes in and changes theirs, and you don't get that update. And then all of a sudden you come back to your island. It's you kind of either wipe their data or they don't have that data, or it's because they're all on that same little area. If they were in their own area, it would be easy enough to just bloop bloop bloop, and you wouldn't lose. You wouldn't have to worry about other people updating their camps. Well, I'm saying that's probably what it is.
I'm saying this because a vast majority of the people that are going to play this game are not even going to take advantage of the fact that they can have all these accounts on one island on one Switch.
Yeah, probably not. But I'm saying that's possibly the case of why it's not quote unquote doable.
Or they just, I don't get it. Like it's all online. All the data's online anyways. It's not even about the time manipulation at this point. Like, fine, make it so we can't do local backups, so we can't do time manipulation. But like, it's all stored on the server. Like, God, this is Fortnite. It's all online. It's all stored online. So like, why can't I just go to another Switch and keep playing?
No, I agree.
Like, that's the stupid thing is, they're like holding your data hostage unless you break your Switch. Break your Switch if you want to move it to. Oh, you get a Switch Pro. You get a Switch Pro or a Switch 2 in the future that's backwards compatible.
Snap your other one.
Oh, you better go break your old Switch if you want your Animal Crossing data. Oh, and you'll probably have to call customer service on top of it all to even confirm it and get it moved. So,
or you could like permanently never connect it to the Wi-Fi again, and then just hack the old Switch and then just say it was broken.
I mean, let's just be honest. They really just want you to only ever buy one Switch ever, which is weird for Nintendo. You figure they want you to buy as many as you want, and they want you to just use it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, battery went bad? Just leave it docked.
Yeah.
Oh, your HDMI port went bad? We don't even make it anymore, so your problem.
But don't you dare open that thing up and customize it.
But it is what it is. I'm not... it doesn't affect the quality of the game, but I have seen some people that are generally not happy with how this works, and the reason to not be happy is the kind of game this is. It's a game that you sink hundreds, if not thousands of hours in. It's a never-ending game. And because of that, people are really worried, like, okay, save data gets corrupted, now what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Or... I upgraded to a new Switch and I sold the old one. That doesn't fall in the category of lost, stolen, or whatever. I literally sold it to upgrade and I can't have my data. This is stupid.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So, yeah, it's dumb. I don't know. Nintendo does dumb things sometimes. At least the games are great. See, that's the thing. Yeah. The games are so great, we put up with the dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. Switch is great.
Yeah.
Like, as a concept, as a system, but we'll still put up with some dumb stuff, like the fact they don't have better organization for the eShop, and there's still no themes, and why is there no music?
Joy-Con drift.
Joy-Cons just
Speaking of music, they changed the music on the Wii U eShop. At least that, or I haven't been on it for a while, but they
Probably haven't been on it for a
On it
while.
once in a while, and sometimes the music still changes. It was like around the holidays. I was like, oh, the music's different now.
Nice.
Why not do that on the Switch?
Well, someone got paid.
Yeah.
Someone got paid to click a button and change the track.
They hired some color
Unless
guy.
it was always like that.
The color guy. Oh, big inside joke.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's get into the next topic. We're gonna talk some Switch Pro stuff. So you guys, for those who don't know what's been going on, there's obviously been a lot of rumors and speculation and reports out there that Switch Pro is coming this year. Digitimes put out that it was going into mass production like soon and then going to release this summer. There's been other journalists and stuff other that have kind of confirmed that they've heard the same thing. And then Nintendo's Shintaro Furukawa came right out in the last investors meeting and made a one-line note about the whole thing, where he basically said, we don't have plans to release a new Switch model in 2020. And this was right after talking about how they're confident in building sales for the current Switch model. So it was kind of a, hey, we're going to give you investors some confidence that we are going to continue to push the current Switch models, and we're going to do that in part by trying to shoot down all the rumors so people aren't like holding back from buying a Switch right now because they're worried in 3-4 months there's going to be a new one. And now people understand from a sales perspective, if they were saying this in an interview or anywhere else, that, well, yeah, that's what you need to do to say to the public. But this is investors, and there's laws involved with lying to investors and all this. The funny thing is, and this is where I give Super Metal Dave a little bit of a shout out, because he actually did some digging on this and found out at the end of all of these investor meeting statements, there's a bunch of legal jargon. And the legal jargon essentially acquits Nintendo of everything they say in the investors meeting. It basically says we can literally change our mind on anything we say in here at any time. So they are literally legally protected to just lie to investors, because it's in the legal jargon that, hey, everything is subject to change at any time. And they said no plans. The funny thing about plans is plans change. Yeah. So even the original wording isn't like a definitive. It ain't coming. It's like we have no plans. They didn't say we will not release. Right. They said there are no plans
to yet.
Yeah. So it's
at this time we're talking. We don't have any plans.
So I guess let's just Sonic Man. Yeah. Are we getting Switch Pro this year? What do you believe?
I want to say yes, but I don't know. I kind of lean. I'm 50-50 on this because I'm going back and forth. So
You really fence rider. Stop fence riding. Putting you on the spot. This decision determines the success of your YouTube channel. Come on.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just say it's going to come out. If it doesn't come out, then it'll be next year. But one other reason they're saying it's not coming out is because they want to, like you said in a couple of videos you made a couple days ago, like if plans change. So that way they're not saying it's coming out this year and it's like, oh yeah, we have to delay it. So, or they could also release a different Switch. Say, well, it's not the same model, even though it is. It's not the same kind of Switch, even though it is not truly next gen. But I don't know. It depends on how they say that. And then they could change their mind later.
Well, Nintendo, they never change their mind.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, they could say they changed their mind.
Yes. So basically, you're going with, sure, this year because I said so. Eric, what do you think? Believe Nintendo or don't believe Nintendo?
I'm thinking 1 or 2 time periods. Either holiday this year or summer next year.
Okay, so then you're pretty much going to say it's not coming this year. There's no way in hell they're releasing Switch Pro when PlayStation 5 and Xbox One come out. No, yes. Xbox Series X. Now they might be delayed and not even be coming out this year. But again, that's still just a rumor. I don't know how much I buy into that, especially since now we've literally seen like Xbox Series X like prototype systems like in the wild, so it's kind of like it'd be really weird for it not to come this year. Now PlayStation 5 is funky. I don't know what the hell they're doing, so I can see how like they're being this way because they don't think it's coming this year.
Yeah, and that actually could be the thing that changes their mind. They didn't have plans for it because they thought the Xbox.
Yeah, it could be one of those. We're gonna
out.
do Switch Pro in 2021, but wait, they're coming out in 2020. Screw that. Let's own the holiday.
Exactly.
But I mean, I don't know. There's again, I don't know what's happening right now with Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So they are still supposed to have major reveal events this year, anyway. So I guess that I'm gonna reserve judgment until then. Because I assume they're going to give us a release window, or even the release date, whenever they finally do those events. Which
now I know they. I don't want to go too much into this, but
Sure.
I know they said they're not going to E3. Could they go to E3 behind closed doors and just when they said we're not going to E3, could they just meant we're not publicly going to? E3?
They will always have a presence there because there are games there that come to the systems. So they will have some executives behind closed doors that do meetings, but.
That's what
but yeah, they won't have any public presence or any.
Yeah.
Basically, Microsoft has a chance to own E3 if they play their cards right with the next gen hardware. If they play the card, Nintendo will have a say, but again, we also don't know. Like Sony could literally drop their stuff right after E3 is all done and be like, "Oh, you guys enjoyed E3? Now here's PlayStation 5." So like they could just literally just steal all the thunder away. Well, you know what's weird about the PlayStation 5 stuff? It isn't even like the rumors out there about a delay or whatever. It's that like Sony is not unveiling anything about it because they don't know how much the Xbox is going to cost. Uh-huh. So like they're waiting for Microsoft to basically set the market so they could try to undercut them like what happened last gen, or like they're scared because Microsoft might just say screw it because we're focused on the cloud and everything. We're going to release Series X at $300 and then they're going to and then Sony's going to look at them like, you expect us to take a $500 loss on our system to undercut you? Oh, fuck. And the Series X is, according to developers, more powerful than the PlayStation 5 dev unit. So like,
there's no way it would be 250.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's going to be 300. I could see it being 400, but it's like Sony is legit scared of Microsoft when Microsoft is publicly coming out and saying, hey, we ain't playing. Like, cool, we have a system, but we care more about the cloud and Game Pass than we care about whether or not we sell 100 million Xboxes. But, I mean, we can't say Microsoft isn't trying. Again, developers are saying that the Xbox Series X is apparently more powerful than the PlayStation 5, and they bought up a whole bunch of studios. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they are putting their foot forward, but it's a very different strategy because, like, is it really exclusive when you'll be able to play it on xCloud on so many different platforms? Mm-hmm. Or, like, most of the games, if not all of them, will also be on PC with Game Pass. And it's like, is it really exclusive? No, but Microsoft doesn't care because they're a PC company.
But that would still be, a lot of times, like, they'll say Xbox exclusive, but then they have, like, Xbox Live on, and Xbox Game Pass on Windows 10. So, in a way, it's still Xbox. Just not.
It's console exclusive.
I guess, yeah.
But then, like, now there's HTPCs, people put in the living room. So, you know what? It's all. And here's the thing: the Xbox Series X is just a PC in your living room.
Yeah.
It's literally like it's like a Corsair one in your living room that's affordable. That's pretty much what it is. But and that's the thing. Like when we talk about a Switch Pro, I know Nintendo has come out and stated that they're not even worried about what's happening with those systems because they have so much momentum right now. We're just going to deal with what we're dealing with, which makes all the sense in the world because they are literally in the peak years of Switch right now. They are peaking like crazy. Why would they even give a crap what anyone else is doing? Because guess what? You can't take the Xbox Series X with you. Can't take PlayStation 5 with you. We don't give a crap what they're doing because it doesn't actually replace what we're doing. So it's not the same market. But yet, hey, we're a home console, so it is the same market because they keep wanting to say we're a home console. They can't just own that you're a hybrid handheld that could dock with your TV. No, we're a home console that you could take with you, but we're not worried about what the other home consoles are doing. That makes no sense at all logically. But it's because Nintendo. It's a marketing thing. They want people to not look at Switch as a more powerful 3DS. They want people to look at it as, look, you're playing home console games. You just happen to be able to take it with you. Mm-hmm. That's what they want people to look at it. Even though we're not idiots, we know it's mobile technology. It is not standard console technology. They just don't give a crap. They just want to let you know, you're playing Mortal Kombat 11 you're playing The Witcher 3 on the go. Play Breath of the Wild on the go.
Yeah.
And these are what people consider to be console games. So, like, they don't want it to be like, you feeling like Link's Awakening, as an example, is what you look at as more of a handheld experience on the system, even though it's in HD. Like, that might be what people expect from a more handheld-oriented system, whereas, like, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Granted, then they released Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is totally just HD handheld. Anyways, we talk about that in another, when I actually play the game and can get some full opinions on that.
Corey was actually asking about Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is, I don't know. I don't think it's coming this year anymore.
No, I don't either.
But then again, but here's the thing. If things are pushed, who's to say they don't decide to rush it out for this year so they can just say, screw it. We're going to get out ahead and just sell 100 million Switches now. And just worry about what happens next year. But again, I do think Breath of the Wild 2 was supposed to come this year, but I think it was Sabby or someone who put it out there that now, like, Breath of the Wild 2 might be internally delayed because it's taking longer than they expected. And here's the thing. I don't really care who said it. You should just expect it as Zelda fans. When does a Zelda game ever come out when we think it's supposed to come out?
Right.
Oh, they announced it, so it's coming out next year. Oh, they even said it's going to come out next year. It never happens.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
I don't think they ever did say it's coming out.
No, they never did, publicly.
Yeah.
But, like, some people said, oh, they showed it off last year. They internally must be targeting next year. Probably. But there's a reason they didn't say it publicly this time, because they're not stupid, and they know now that Zelda games always tend to take longer than they really think it is. Maybe if they would just hire an extra 100 people that permanently work on it instead of just borrowing from other teams to make it happen. But, I mean, that's not Nintendo's way.
So Breath of the Wild is mainly, was it Nintendo EPD, I think. And then,
Monolith Soft is the one that helped them out with it, yep.
Okay. But they're not, like, the main developers, though.
No. But they have, like, it's funny. We discovered when they were working on, because they're working on the next Xenoblade and stuff, discovered when they were hiring all this stuff for it that they actually have more people on a dedicated team that helps out with Zelda games than they have actually working on Xenoblade games. Like, they actually have a dedicated entire unit at Monolith Soft that, like, just works on Zelda right now. And has been doing it since Breath of the Wild. So it's weird because now they kind of have, like, a permanent side Zelda team.
Nice.
Well, I think they were like that with Super Mario Odyssey, because it was technically the same. It was still, I believe, Nintendo EPD, but it was like a different group of people.
Yeah. Nintendo EPD, all they did is they took Nintendo EAD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and just said, you know what? Screw it. They're all just going to... They still are the same thing, but now they just call them, you are the Mario team. You are the Zelda team. Instead of giving them, like, numbers, they're like, look, you're all part of the same development group, but then, like, you're divided by games.
Yeah, there's also a studio they have in their North American headquarters in Redmond, Washington, Software Technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Retro Studios, but Texas.
Yeah, the software one doesn't do traditional game development. They do.
No, but
they do other developments for Nintendo, but like, I think actually part of their online infrastructure is actually built by them, which is interesting. But
so the online's more American?
Yeah, blame the Americans for the online.
So now we know where to riot.
That's Japan's problem.
So now we know where to riot.
Now,
I think
anyways, well, it actually makes sense too for them to have, like, some hardware software development here, because hence, like, they're partnered with NVIDIA, which is based in the U.S. But I don't know. I'm gonna stay out of that whole mess, because at this point there's not enough known about what they're doing to really definitively say exactly what they do. They have some hiring posts that kind of suggest, oh, they're working on next gen. Oh, they're working on this. Oh, nobody knows. Like, we already know just from Reggie alone. Like, there is literally, like, secrets at Redmond that, like, nobody is allowed to ever access but, like, 3 people. So, like, this group of, like, 20 people does this one thing, but nobody else at Nintendo has any freaking clue what they're doing.
Now, he was actually the one, this came out recently, Spawnwave was talking about this, but Reggie actually convinced Nintendo of Japan to launch the Wii with Wii Sports, but they didn't want to do that originally.
Yeah, they didn't want to bundle it. They didn't want to bundle it in.
Reggie convinced them to.
Yeah, they wanted to Nintendo land it, and Reggie's like, no. Like, people don't know what this thing is. Put it in with the system.
That's what they should have done with the Wii.
Here's the thing: Reggie should have just instantly been promoted after Satoru Iwata passed to be the president of everything. Because, hello, the most successful period of time, you can thank Reggie, because he put the most successful game you've ever had bundled in. Congrats.
Didn't he have a? He had something with Nintendo Japan.
Yeah, he did get promoted to a when they redid like the fellows, he got promoted to a high position, but then
even though he's retired, does he still have any like even investors relations to Nintendo?
I'm sure he has
something
stock investment, because that was probably part of the package of him being in his position, as you got every year you got X amount of stock, but because that's just common when you're in CEO positions. So he probably still has a financial investment, but I don't think he has any actual like connection, like the fellow role he had and stuff. I'm sure he doesn't have anymore, because if you look at, he's very active on social media now, and you can see like he's going around giving speeches. He's doing what people do when they retire. You know, they give speeches and just run around and do whatever they feel like doing.
It looks like he does a good job too.
Well,
not that I didn't think he would,
like we didn't know Reggie's a good speech giver.
Well, some people might have.
I mean, come on, he came out at the Game Awards as the Reginator just because he could. I mean, he knows he's having fun in his life, so good for him. All of us wish we could retire that young.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be like
a lifer.
I know he was like volunteering at the this university. I forget the name of it, but I thought for some reason I saw a tweet from him. He's like, school's in session, so I was assuming he's like, oh, he's going to be teaching from now on for. That's what it almost sounded like to me, and then no, that's not what it was.
I think what surprised me about Reggie stepping down when he did, not just that he's young, like young for a guy to
you look at Miyamoto,
but like you looked at Miyamoto, like you kind of felt like even though he's a U.S. person, he's gonna be a lifer. He's gonna be one of those. I'm just gonna do Nintendo until I die, because that's just that's what everyone at Nintendo seems to do. If you're in a high up position, I'm here till I die. And if I'm not at this position, I'm in a different position until I die. Because I don't think Shigeru Miyamoto's ever going to retire. I think he'll be retired while still doing things.
Yeah.
Even if it's just as a promoter. Like, it's weird. But that is the U.S. thing to do. Get rich and retire.
Yeah.
Like, that's... Enjoy
your
Miyamoto,
life. According to Wikipedia, is 67.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, he's up there. All right, I guess that's it. We got some Platinum Games stuff to talk about here.
Yeah.
They are doing some crazy things. First, it was rumored that they were going to put up a Wonderful 101 Kickstarter. Then it happened. And the Kickstarter showed for like at $50,000, they were going to bring it to Switch, which basically meant they didn't need any money to bring it to Switch, but they were throwing it on there anyways. And then I think it was $250,000 was Steam, and then $500,000 I think was PlayStation. Surprisingly, no Xbox. They're going multi-platform and ignoring Xbox. I wonder if there's some fallout from that scale-bound thing, and there's like a forget you, Microsoft kind of thing.
I almost wish Nintendo. I know they probably didn't want the game to come to other systems, but they're allowing it. I almost kind of wish they would be like, okay, we'll try to convince them we'll help them put it on Xbox, because Microsoft's putting games on Nintendo, but that'd be for a different reason though.
Yeah. So like a big thing, I guess, with the Wonderful 101, and this was more recent news, is yes, everything's been funded. It's massively exceeded its funding, and now they're adding stretch goals for like new levels and new stuff to the game. And the Wonderful 101's a fantastic game from Wii U that if you guys haven't played it. If you guys haven't played it, pick it up. It's going to be great. And there's not going to be huge performance differences between it on Wii U, Switch, PlayStation, etc. It's going to be pretty similar, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. But what I think is interesting about that situation is that Nintendo, I guess, sold the rights to the game back to Platinum so they could do self-publishing. Now, to be fair, the Wonderful 101 wasn't a big seller or a big money maker. Nintendo maybe even lost money on the investment originally. But But it's interesting that Nintendo didn't just say, "Sure, you could release it on other platforms. We just want like a small percentage cut as the publisher." And because Nintendo could have did that, and they said, "Nah, just give us like whatever we value the IP at, like $10 million or whatever it was, and just publish it yourself."
Now there was I was reading something with the PC version of Bayonetta 1. Apparently they got permission to use the Japanese dialogue, which I'm confused about because I don't know why the original version wouldn't have Japanese dialogue.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that situation. So
there was something where they got permission.
Because Bayonetta 1, like Nintendo has nothing to do with that.
Right.
Like that's all Sega. Sega.
So I don't know why people were saying that. Who knows?
I don't know. And now, like here's the thing. Platinum Games has this weird thing going on. They put up this mystery website that has like these 4 stars, and one of the stars is the Wonderful 101. So that means they have like 3 other big announcements, right? And then it comes out from their high up person, just ahead of Kamiya at them, like, hey, look, we want to bring Bayonetta, like the entire series, to all platforms, and like hint that meant Bayonetta 2 and the yet to be released Bayonetta 3, and like Nintendo paid for those games to be made. They own the publishing rights. They were very thankful to Nintendo, and now they're just kind of like, hey, we don't really actually want you anymore. We'll still bring it to your system, but we want to bring it to everything. Can you sell us the rights back? And Nintendo's going to be much more reluctant with Bayonetta, I think, because it actually sells okay. They can get 1 million plus sales on that game. Mm-hmm. So it's a little reluctant to kind of just give give the ones they've paid for back. But then it's also, well, if they're not going to play nice and give us Bayonetta 4, then do we really want to hold it hostage and hold the franchise? Like Nintendo's got they're a Japanese company. There's some honor there and like holding franchises hostage that they technically didn't start. Sega still owns the IP overall. It's a really confusing situation, and I wonder what's going to happen. What I don't understand, I guess, is I understand why. Like, when did Platinum Games become so self-sufficient that they could just start self-publishing? Like, they've never been a self-publishing company, and now they're like, we want to self-publish everything. It's fine. I'm cool with it. Platinum makes awesome games, but it's like, well, yeah, Nintendo's the only reason that Bayonetta 2 exists. Nintendo's the only reason that Bayonetta 3 exists. Oh, wait, we have the money to do it ourselves. Can we have it back, please?
I couldn't tell you.
I wonder, that whole Scalebound thing when that got canceled, and I know that pissed off Platinum, but I wonder if there was like a buyout with Microsoft to get the hell out of that deal, and they're like, we're just gonna give you we're just getting the hell out of this deal. We're gonna just give you a couple $100 million, and we're just done with this game. We're washing our hands of it. And no, you can't give it to anybody else, but here's the money that we were going to pay you for the rest of the development or whatever. And now they're just like, hey, we're going to lose that money and publish our own shit.
Yeah. Maybe they just got sick of bigger companies jerking them around.
Yeah. And Shiny Ray, thank you in the chat, also brings up Tencent is invested as well in them. And Tencent is literally the largest video game company in the entire world. If you've never heard of them, it's because you don't pay attention to China. But like they are the most profitable, biggest video game company there is. They could buy Nintendo if they really wanted to buy Nintendo. Not that Nintendo's for sale, and it's a lot harder to buy it because it's a publicly traded company, but they could theoretically have the money in the bank to just buy every stock of Nintendo if they wanted.
Didn't Microsoft supposedly try to buy Nintendo back in 2000?
They were in negotiations to get close to a majority stake and do a long-haul partnership. But that fell through. Interestingly enough, Nintendo and Microsoft play really buddy together. Mm-hmm. So
I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
If it happened, do you think they will ever, like in the next 10 years?
No, I think it's more likely that there's a way to bring over xCloud or something.
Okay.
Because the interesting thing about that is, like, as we've been talking about speculating that xCloud could be a thing on Switch because it can already be a thing on phones, so why not Switch, is Sony is the one that seems to be working out a deal to get their potential streaming platform that runs on Microsoft's servers on Switch. Oh yeah, Sony partnered with Microsoft for their streaming service and is using the Azure servers, the same ones that xCloud uses. So now it's just going to be all about what's the interface difference. And now they just told Microsoft, hey, look, you're going to know at all times what we're doing from a streaming service perspective and could just do it better because you have to know because we're using your technology. So like they kind of can see. I think I think this is Sony's strategy is. Look, Microsoft's got this we're going after everything approach with streaming, right? We're going after phones, we're going after PCs, tablets, everything. 7 billion potential users, as Phil Spencer said. So, like, we're going over all these people, and I think Sony's going to be like, look, we're just going to offer the streaming to our PlayStation users, and we're going to maybe rope in Switch users too. And we're going to build the most popular home console streaming service, and then when they built that confidence up in their home console streaming service with 100 million users or whatever, they might be like, look, we're dipping out, but this service is now going to go to everywhere else. And if somehow Microsoft and others failed to capitalize, Sony's now actually set up with gamers already trust our service, and now they can just play it on anything they want, and we're going to keep it going. I think they're trying to undercut Microsoft, and Microsoft probably looks at it as a win-win for us either way. Yeah. Like, either our service takes off and is awesome, or we just make a bunch of money off of Sony because their service takes off. Either way, we win.
Yeah.
So, Microsoft, you're playing games that are so next level. You're making moves before the moves even need to be made. This is like they're playing Go. Do you guys know the game Go?
I've heard of it. Yes. I've never.
It's a Chinese strategy game.
Yeah.
It's very simplistic in the rules, but the strategies that employ by the people that are masters at it, like it makes chess look like child's play.
Japers.
And yeah, they're going to that whole next level stuff is just. Microsoft is, put it this way, there's a reason Microsoft is one of the richest companies in the world. No. They know what the hell they're doing.
No.
They really do. And that little cha-ching, that was Corey Bohm, who threw a super chat out during our live version of the podcast saying that the Bayo 2 X platform 6 months before 3 is 1 year Switch. I have no idea what he's saying there. Obviously, Bayonetta 2, I think he's saying 6 month platform exclusive. Cross-platform 6 months before 3 as 1 year Switch. I don't understand that last part.
I don't.
Do you mean like 1 year Switch exclusive, or E3 and you just he reset Bayonetta? Still can't say Bayonetta right. Still can't say Bayonetta 2 right. Bayonetta 2 cross-platform 6 months before Bayonetta 3. Oh, is it year one? So gotcha. Bayonetta 3 is a year one Switch exclusive.
Gotcha.
But Bayonetta 2 has 6 months of cross-platform before it comes out because Bayonetta 2 is already out on Switch. That's an interesting possibility. That also requires Nintendo either selling the IP rights back, and I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to. Bayonetta 2 has been too successful. Bayonetta 3 is probably going to be successful. I do not see them giving up IP rights at all. This is like asking them to give up rights to Astral Chain that just sold over 1 million units. They're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So, and like Nintendo now owns that IP. So they're not going to like literally. This isn't a Sega situation where Sega actually owns the overall IP. They just own publishing rights. Well, they owned everything with Wonderful 101. They consider Wonderful 101 a flop, so they didn't care about giving it back. Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to do something with it? Whatever, have it. But
wait, did you say Nintendo owns Astral Chain?
Yes.
Even though they didn't, did they publish it? Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
did they?
No, they own Astral Chain outright. They own the whole IP outright. So it's and that sold over 1 million units, so they're not going to sell that back.
I'm sure Platinum would love to have.
See, I think what needs to happen at this point, and it's not going to happen because Platinum just won't let it happen. Nintendo just needs to buy Platinum and be done with it.
I wish they would.
I mean, everybody's just waiting. Like, who's going to buy out Platinum? But like, Platinum's like, we're not. All Platinum has is, hey, we're not for sale.
Yeah, right.
Like, we don't want to be bought out. But now you want to sell. Like, I think they don't want to lose their creative freedom, is what it is. Because like, if Nintendo buys them out, they'll just start making a bunch of Star Fox and Nintendo stuff, and like, no, like Nintendo buy them out and like make them make the crap they're already good at making, and just have them keep doing it.
No. Like, what if Nintendo
bring back Scalebound? Just don't call it Scalebound.
Call it something else.
Call it something else. Change up the look of the dragon and the main character. It's all good.
Yeah.
Actually, you probably can't reuse the code. There's some legal.
Well,
Yeah.
But you can make an inspired by version.
What I would like to see is, and I don't think it's going to happen, but see Nintendo like buy Platinum, Next Level Games. I know that's unrealistic, but let's say with Platinum Games, if they could like get them as a minority stake in the company, a second party studio, I guess, say, and allow them to release games on multi-platform, but only after a year on certain titles. Or
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
Platinum. That's it. Platinum will just now let it happen. Like, hey, we're just not for sale. You can't. Sorry. And now they want to self-publish everything. Probably 10 cents involved. I don't. Platinum's just, they got to be rolling in the dough somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Their games never sell as well as they should, but now they're acting like they're a company that just has money. Because they probably do.
Have you played Metal Gear Rising, by the way? That was a Platinum Games game.
Huh. Yeah.
That was a good game.
Yep. It's a good game that hardly anyone played, unfortunately.
But
one of the few times Konami had a good game. Of course, they didn't make it, so of course it was
I think
good.
it was co-developed by Kojima Productions.
Well, whatever.
For the cutscenes.
It's possible Platinum just struck oil out in the backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. It's kind of like it feels like what's happening to Platinum is like they just got a new owner. They just got like this new billionaire owner, and he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna play around with my new toy. I want my stuff back. Can I have my stuff back? But you just got here. It's not really yours. You know how this works? Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Here's some money. Give me my stuff back.
Yeah, right.
I want to do what I want to do. I don't need you anymore. Damn it, it's all Microsoft's fault. I'm telling you, it's all Microsoft's fault. They were one of the few people to renege on what Platinum was trying to do. Like, Scalebound was one of the most ambitious games Platinum had ever worked on.
Yeah.
And Microsoft pulled funding clearly when Platinum didn't want to stop making the game. So, like, I'm telling you, that soured them to working with other companies as publishers anymore. Because they're like, no, we're not going to like put all this time in and then have you just pull the plug from under us.
Exactly.
But see, Nintendo's never pulled the plug. In fact, Nintendo was nice and sold an IP back to them. So
yeah, well.
And now they just want to tell Nintendo, no, and here's the thing. I don't care, by the way, if Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 3 go like multi-platform. I really, really do not care. I think in the ideal world of existence that should exist for all gamers, every game should be multi-platform. Yes, folks, that means Breath of the Wild. Why do I care if people on Xbox or PlayStation or PC play it? It doesn't change how much fun I have with it on Switch.
Yeah, not really.
Like, who cares? It's all about getting more people to play the game. If Nintendo can go from 16 million sales to 100 million, cool, good for them.
Console wars, man.
The only reason that it doesn't happen is because it is like a selling point to buy a platform. So, and that's why some people think, oh, Microsoft is always in trouble because you could just get their games on multiple platforms. Like, sure, you could, but most people still play Microsoft's games on an Xbox. So,
or PC.
until xCloud comes, then we'll see how that works. If xCloud ends up being a Netflix of gaming, I mean, it's over. If they get the right price point.
Do you see Microsoft ever discontinuing the Xbox altogether? Like, say, we're not going to do another console. I know they'll say that they keep saying we're not doing another console. But do you honestly think they will ever completely stop Xbox and just do third party and then do PC?
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's going to be a day of Microsoft only does game streaming, because I think there's going to be a day when that is what gaming is. As much as people don't want that future to come. I mean, there'll always be a place to play games locally, and I think the last bastion of that is going to be PC.
Right.
Now, Nintendo's going to be stubborn and stick around as long as they can. But I think there's going to be a time, and I think Microsoft thinks this too. That's why they said their main competitors are Amazon and Google, because they're the other companies trying to do game streaming, like, seriously. Although, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, GeForce Now just happened. Like, no one saw that coming, and all of a sudden, hey, here's a competitor, like, and apparently it's really good, and you get like 3 months free, and it's like, what?
Wow.
All right, that's all right, cool, and you can import your Steam library already to it.
Huh.
So like that's really cool. I don't. There's a lot of the crazy. The gaming is going in such a crazy direction right now that I don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's trying to be, or not everyone. Sony isn't quite there yet. Nintendo's definitely not yet. They can't even get They can't even get online right on their own platform. So, Nintendo is very much stuck in. We need hardware to sell because like we don't know how to.
They
do
have
anything else.
hinted at doing a smartphone in the past, but
Sony
right
tried
now,
that
I'm
once.
hoping they don't do that, and not until at least they learn how to do online. Because that's gonna
I
be
hope they just
disastrous.
get on the phone with someone from Sony so Sony can tell them how well their gaming smartphone went for them. and it's not like the games that Nintendo's are releasing on smartphones are necessarily like, I guess what do the young generation call them now? Bangers? I have no idea. Whatever they call them. I'm trying to think, like, what do my kids call them?
I got
They just care if some YouTuber's playing it. They don't really care what the game is, to be honest. I'm surprised my daughter even knows that Minecraft is called Minecraft and it's not called FGTV or something.
Yeah.
That's the FGTV game. Oh my god. Here's the thing though, like that content's not even supposed to exist anymore. YouTube doesn't let children. I don't know what's happening. YouTube's a funny place. All right, we're about to hit our hour here. So let's kind of wrap things up. The audio version of this podcast, guys, will be available. I don't want to promise a date, but it'll be available sometime after this live version ends on iTunes, on Anchor.fm, on the Google Podcast app, through Google Play, and pretty much anywhere that you want to listen to. I think there's even a SoundCloud one out there as well, although I don't remember the URL to it. It does exist. It's literally you just type in Nintendo Prime Podcast into your favorite podcast provider, and we're probably there because we upload it to Anchor.fm, and they just send it out to everything. And
you should get it to go on Nintendo Switch online. I'm just kidding. Just get that fucking.
I don't know if they even know how to upload. I wonder in the back end, is it an upload button, or do you have to run lines of code to make it upload?
Just release Nintendo Prime on the eShop. It'll be okay.
I mean, I can make it look that way. Just hack the Switch quick, and I can make it look. Anyways, obviously, if you guys enjoy this podcast, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Nintendo Prime if you want to do some monetary support, because this podcast is time consuming and makes me next to no money. And it's hard to plan, and I need to live. So if you want to go support it, you can go there, and you can look at all the different levels and different perks if you want, including being on an episode of the podcast, as I said. Obviously, it's your first time watching it. You enjoyed the show, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that jazz. Go check out Sonic Man the Best. There's a link to his channel down in the description of this video. Why don't you kind of talk about what kind of content do you do at your channel so people that might want to check you out know what they can expect?
So I like to do gaming coverage. So I cover mostly Nintendo. Occasionally I'll cover. I recently made a video on, like yesterday, I uploaded it. So it's basically talking about the Nintendo Switch production possibly getting delayed due to the coronavirus. I also do Twitch streams, so I've been streaming Animal Crossing City Folk. Want to create some hype for New Horizons. I'm wanting to stream that as well. I also stream a game. It's a PC game called American Truck Simulator.
Nice.
So it's just a simulation of driving trucks. It's an awesome game. So yeah, and then I like to upload those videos on YouTube as well. So do basically a vlogger, and then I do game playthroughs.
There you go. He vlogs. He plays games. Check him out.
Nice.
So you know what? Let's see, folks. I want to put a challenge out to you guys. I know he's got like 200 something subscribers. Can we get him to 300 by the next podcast?
Yeah.
Can we get him to 300? I mean, I could do it alone. I have probably enough alternate accounts.
I was gonna say,
but I mean,
until YouTube catches on.
I'm gonna be legit here. Can we get him to 300 subscribers? I mean, obviously, only subscribe if you actually legit like the content. Just the number of subscribers isn't as important as like actually wanting to watch. Like, I have 45,000 subscribers. I'm lucky to get 1,000 people to watch a video. So clearly, I'd rather just get rid of the other 44,000, just eject them, stick with the core. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. Then again, is it really the core when notifications aren't sent out?
There is that.
That's-
So, like, if notifications actually got sent out to all the people that wanted notification to get sent out, I'd probably get like 10,000 views a video, but it is what it is.
sometimes the notifications don't get sent out until the stream's over.
Oh, yeah, I know. There's the part
There's someone in the stream that said they
yeah.
never got it.
Oh, hey, we never got a notification. I bet you as soon as I hit end stream, notification.
Yep.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. For those that are watching live right now, there will not be a Q&A after this one. I apologize. It's just there's a certain thing that needs to be addressed, and it'll be addressed in a better format in a future live stream, and then we'll get back to our normal Q&A stuff after podcast. So Corey, Mr. Corey, I apologize because you prepared a bunch of questions ahead of time on our official Discord server, and they will not be answered this week. Sorry. What's his channel name again? Sonic Man the Best. It is linked down in the description, which it's not. That's not the. But whatever. If you, that's how I found his channel. I just typed in Sonic Man the Best into YouTube and it popped up. So, but if you go down in the description, he will be linked right below 5J's channel, like towards the top of the description. So, oh yeah, and there was no 5J this week, guys. He's at a party. So
Nice.
Party hard. He'll be back
Is that
next
the
week.
Nintendo Switch Pro
Oh,
party
yes.
we're not?
He didn't tell me what the party.
Yeah.
And why weren't we
That's why I
invited?
didn't tell you.
That bastard.
Yeah, right.
It's like an hour drive away. What
know, right?
is going on?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm gonna have to get on the phone.
Yeah, right.
Doug Bowser's in town. That's fine.
Dang it. And Corey, I will say this to Corey. For those who don't know, he's been one of the biggest supporters of the podcast and everything at the channel for quite some time. There's a reason that I decided to wear the Wisconsin sports shirts. After he told Eric, he told me to tell you to burn your entire wardrobe that you wear on every podcast episode. So I said, this week I'm going to join Eric, and I'm going to go even worse, where I have all the major Wisconsin sports teams in one shirt,
I like it.
showing support, wearing the Bucks hat, which he doesn't really. You haven't complained much about the Bucks yet, but maybe you're waiting for the playoffs where you hope Toronto somehow beats us again. I can't wait to stomp Toronto. They won't even make it to us. Miami's going to be the one in the conference finals with us. Those trades they made. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
dude.
no,
I'm actually scared of Miami. They beat us in Milwaukee without Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
and then they just got better. So,
Yeah.
but then again, I mean, the Bucks are about to pull off 70 games and probably cakewalk through the whole playoffs, in my opinion. But because Giannis is a beast. Cash money, 50, 40, 90 this year.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. He just said, oh, Brogdon, you're gone? I got this.
Right.
I got this. All right, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all this stuff. Check out Sonic Man the Best. Go check out our podcast and all the other stuff that I mentioned before. It's been great. It's been real. Catch you in the next episode next week at Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right. See you guys. Peace.